Good morning, good evening. Welcome to this week's live chat. We've got a special guest with us. If we can make it work, technology is awesome. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Andrew. Andrew, how are you going?
I am going well. I am so excited to be joined by you here today. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much. So if people watching don't know who you are, Andrew Can is the man basically. On he helps out so many people, so many businesses, so many channels. Andrew, give us a quick rundown of what you're doing these days.
Sure. So as Chantelle said, I am Andrew Can. I have a simple belief that if I can, you can too. I've been doing YouTube now for 12 years, if you can believe that. And I have helped channels earn directly. My direct involvement has now been up to 12 silver play buttons, 2 gold play buttons, and 1 diamond. So I've been working hard over these last decade. And so I.
Whoa.
So that's just a little bit of what I've been up to.
Goodness me. Okay, so it's saying that Andrew has a echo for some reason.
Really? Let
Like
me.
what kind of echo? He sounds like he's an echo. Doug says he sounds like he's in an echo chamber. Um,
My mic.
I don't know what's going on, honestly. Because he sounds great to me.
I sound good in my own audio.
Oh, I don't even know. Andrew. Andrew and I have not had a good first morning experience with this first time that I'm using Ecamm as a guest. We've both got headphones on. There's no audio coming through. Oh, I just heard me then.
Testing. It says Chantelle, close the extra Safari tab with the YouTube tab open.
I don't actually have a Safari tab with a YouTube tab open. I don't use Safari. Just double checking. I got nothing open.
I wonder if it's the issue you had where it was picking up your cam link.
Oh, no way. No, Cam link's not being picked up.
No, I mean for me. How did you check
Oh.
that in?
Oh, for me it was in the sound levels tab of Ecamm, so I get like a whole pile of extra windows.
Oh, I don't. I only see one microphone option. I'm listening. I'm monitoring myself. I have no echo on my end, so I wonder if somehow it's picking up 2 devices.
I really don't know. I'm not seeing anything come through. All right. I don't know. Andrew, what do we want to do? Do we want to jump ship?
One moment. Let me try something. Go ahead and talk about what we're doing. You can go ahead and mute me and put me off. I'll put in our guest chat of when I should be back. I think I know how to fix this.
Okay. All right. So the plan for today, if we ever get it going, is that Andrew and I are going to chat about some of the new features that YouTube are dropping for live streaming, how to have how to include. Sorry, my brain is totally fried. How to include it in your YouTube strategy? What advantages that we can have by utilizing some of these new, cool, fun things.
Testing.
So, oh, there's Andrew. I can hear him once off. I can hear Andrew when he's talking. Sorry, I know you guys can't because he's not on the stream yet.
How about now? I was able to mute something. I'm not sure.
All right, let's try Andrew in again. Hey, Andrew.
Hello. Hopefully, we're back in a healthy and productive way. Let's wait for the chat. Good to see the artist Haven. Good to see a lot of familiar faces. Hopefully, Andrew is in stereo, they said, which is not great.
Still an echo, they reckon. Doug, you mentioned echo cancellation. Where do I find that? Because I didn't turn it off because we are both in headphones, so it shouldn't be an issue. But, apparently it is. Where to find it? Ecamm. Why are you doing this? So, it's got to be on mine. Yeah, I think it's got to be on mine too, but I don't know exactly how, to be honest.
I will go off camera for just
No,
a second.
what I think, Andrew, is and this is probably gonna mean that we're gonna be starting an extra stream. So we're gonna lose our link, we're gonna lose all that stuff that we've all just shared. But I think we might have to do the jump ship to Talk Studio. I don't think my brain is literally just paused, like I can't troubleshoot. Like it's literally like I don't know what to do. Wait a second.
Wait, was that better?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, this worked earlier where we fixed nothing and it fixed itself. So let's see. It might have been a delay and when I joined back. So let's just keep talking like it's normal. And yes, it's better. Okay, we fixed it by doing absolutely nothing.
Zero things.
Hmm. We love technology. Slightly
Oh.
better. Okay, we'll take slightly better.
It says it's not an echo now.
Not echo. Okay.
I don't even know the answers to this. I don't
I
even know the
couldn't
answers,
tell you.
honestly. Seriously.
Turn me down a little, they're saying. I could just do that myself.
That's right.
So,
You're peeking on my end a little bit. I've got you. You're
okay.
done. I turn you down just a dash. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
So,
Am I better now?
Andrew, welcome to this very professional live chat on live streaming.
You know, live happens, right? It wouldn't have been a live stream about live streaming if we didn't have an issue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Usually my brain is really good, like with the troubleshooting in the background and stuff, but my brain's like parked in Dallas right now and it is like getting ready for Vid Summit.
Likewise, I too have Vid Summit on the brain.
Yep. Yep. Oh my
Everyone in
gosh.
chat is like, welcome to the wonderful world of
Oh,
live
it
streaming.
is. It's a thing. It's a thing. Let me just get back in here. So we are having. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but we are having the fun experience of YouTube testing out that we are getting people's tags rather than their handles today.
I see that.
Wasn't that last week? So it just randomly changes that as well, which is really cool. So everything just looks a bit different. Yeah, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen on a live. You are 100% right there, the Artist Haven. Like so true, so true. Now I'm being told also that our GIFs aren't working, so that's okay. But I do have the chat. Let's see if that works. No, it doesn't bring it on screen. So I'll have to just use, standard eCam stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because all our normal stuff is not working, which is weird because I can see the messages, I just can't add them. One
I
thing
see them on screen in the chat. In the stream itself, I see them. I
yeah,
don't see them here, but I see they are showing up.
yeah, that's all right. I was trying to be clever and use Social Stream Ninja and all the other bits and bobs, but that's just not, it's not going to be my friend today. That's fine. Livestream Consultants did say that he noticed that his handle is the same as his actual name. So that is cool. I set mine up to be the same. It's just got no spaces. So yeah, and not everyone does that. I highly recommend that if you have a business, you go and check your channel handle because I got a feeling that this is going to be rolling out. What do you think? Do you think YouTube will roll this handles in chat out rather than display names?
Yeah, they absolutely will. I think it's to keep in parity with like Instagram, how they do it, with how TikTok does it. I understand it from that perspective. I think that for me, I did it back when in the day when you got a custom URL and your display name could be different. So like
Me
I
too.
own Andrew K, which
Yeah.
is why it's just at Andrew K because YouTube wouldn't give me at Andrew, even though that account is dormant and I asked for it.
Oh no, YouTube's. Look, there's a couple of things. Like, I'm really hoping that if they roll this out, that means we can tag on mobile. Like, I'm hoping that that's
Yeah,
what's the disconnect because
I
I'm
hope
not.
so.
I don't have all the knowledge. I don't have all the back end knowledge of why they just can't do this thing that I just want. Obviously, there's a bigger picture, and I just don't understand what the bigger picture is. Um, so yeah, it's like I've got the I want to be able to tag on mobile. I want to be able to, uh, like, have managing moderator tools on desktop.
True.
Mm. They're my two biggies. They're my two biggies. I have quite a rich list, but they're my two biggies. Anyway, they are not anything that YouTube has announced for the new live streaming tools. Andrew, what were your feelings like when you saw everything dropping with all the new live streaming tools? When you saw it, what did you think about the different things that came through?
Sure. So we're talking about the Made on YouTube event where YouTube introduced a bunch of new live stream updates. And one of the like subtle things that they mentioned is that 30% of people on YouTube watch live streams. Now, if we do that math of an estimated 2.5 billion, some will estimate larger. YouTube's only said 2.5 billion. So I tend to try to stick to that. That is a lot of people that are watching live streams, right? So
Yeah,
for me, when I hear an update like that, I think it goes to show the reason they're investing in all these live updates is because they want to expand that.
yeah,
And especially because a lot of people like watching on TV devices now, and people in their head set their head to, oh, well, live goes on TV. I don't think it's random. I think it's absolutely intentional.
yeah, yeah. I would agree, and I think that number surprised me because when I polled my various audiences, um, a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't like watching lives, and you're just like, really? But it's actually not so much the case anymore. So, yeah, live stream consultants, we think that this may be the future to roll it out. We don't think it's out yet. He's
Not yet.
just checked, and he can't tag on mobile yet.
Someday, he
Someday
says,
we can just
hopefully.
hope. We can dream. It's the dream. Uh, s- but, but I was really surprised at the sheer numbers of the number of people that say that they are watching they're watching live streams, and the number of channels that say I don't live stream because there's no point. And I just sort of think like, look at that number you've just put into the chat there. So if you're not live streaming, you're not connecting with those people.
I also think it's a different skill set because a lot of people feel they're underprepared, and a lot of
Oh,
people
not
are like, "I'm
me.
just not." Look, I self-report. Look, we'll drink water and everything will be fine. We're just going to use the YouTube's
Look,
built-in
I'm
editor,
sorry.
and they'll
I'm
never know.
having my water with some extra flavors.
Extra little extra spice.
It's tea. It's not coffee at least, but
Ah,
it's tea with milk.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I do think that people often say that they do not feel they're ready. And I think the difference is ready isn't a feeling, it's an action. You're never going to feel ready because you can't feel an action.
Yeah.
So you just got to take that action and go. And I also think that with YouTube, going back into some of those new features, one of the things they're rolling out is kind of a highlight feature where it'll kind of give you a shorts highlight after you go live so that you can kind of give people an idea of what your stream was about. And I think that they're trying to fill that gap too
Yeah.
because shorts were slow to adopt. Now, I will also note that shorts have had way more support than live streaming has had over the
And
years.
I'm just not into shorts. Like I see the advantage and I see the benefit,
Mhm.
but as I was joking with Doug the other night, like if you've met me, you know I can't put a sentence together in under 30 seconds. So I did a little dance when it was like 3 minutes because it was like, yay, I can actually get a thought out. But it was it I still like I just utilize them as clips from my live stream. I don't on the Fiberific channel, I'll do some different kinds of shorts where it's just crafting with music, and it's just a little bit of like a brain reset. But other than that, I don't really utilize shorts in the way that some people do because they are so talented with it and they do it phenomenally. And I'm glad that the option is there for them, but it's not an option that I'm leaning into. Whereas I'm leaning hard into into the soapbox. I'm leaning hard into the live streams,
Sure.
because that's usually my comfort zone, um, and I feel that I have a better connection with my audience because of like this chat. You've got live stream consultants here jumping in, like saying, where's the soap? We usually have a GIF that we can just throw up, like, but when I set all this up, I mustn't have included the the all the extra overlays that I would normally use. Sorry, guys, they're around. I just don't know where they are.
It's all good.
Um,
It's all good.
yeah. So, it's one of these sort of things where you've got to decide what's going to work for you and what's going to work for your audience. But don't let the fear stop you from even testing it and from trying out some different variations on it. Andrew, what would you recommend for somebody who just hasn't done it before and is just feels that they're not ready and feels scared about doing, maybe not scared may not be the right word, but you know what I mean?
I think that, I always used to say that you should practice with a small group of friends. And I think that's why YouTube put out the new practice feature, right?
Yeah.
YouTube, one of the new updates is actually a practice feature. So when you're ready to even contemplate going live,
Yeah.
you can do exactly what I used to recommend, which is practice it in a controlled environment. You can bring on good folks like, I see we have like live stream consultants. We have Doug in the chat. We may have
Mhm.
you maybe watching if you're watching this replay, right? And
Yeah.
you can bring in those trusted sources. And that's what I really recommend because my first live stream was in 2018 and it was on my phone because I'm like, you know what? They just at the time they were like, you should really go ahead, give it a go. And I'm like, why not? What do I have to lose? And I was surprised because I had quite a lot of people watching. I actually went live recapping an event I just went to, so it was very topical in the space we're in. And so I think that the beauty of live stream is it's hyper relevant to what's going on in the moment. I saw
Yeah.
someone in the chat earlier said they don't like watching replays, and it's because we want to experience those live moments. I think we can take from the world of sports. I'm not the biggest sports fan, but what do they do well? Live entertainment,
Yeah.
and then recapping that live entertainment in a quick, digestible way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where like myself and probably others fall down is that recapping.
Mhm.
We I put out the live streams every week, but I don't. It's like okay, they are finished. So move on to the next thing, which is one of the
Sure.
perks of a live stream as well. You don't have to go back in. You don't have to be editing it to make it ready for people to see. And I personally am not the biggest fan of going in and clipping live streams because you lose the live chat.
Yeah.
Which for me, and let me know in the chat, like if you're watching a live replay, are you actually looking at the chat? Because maybe I'm like putting too much emphasis on the live chat, but for me, I do watch the live chat when I'm watching a replay. Um,
May I answer?
yes.
I think for me, it depends the type of stream. And maybe like you do very community based streams. So, yes, I care about your chat, I care about checking in on it. But I've found a lot of success with intentionally making a live stream for replay value.
Yeah.
And one of my more successful streams is where I did a thumbnail masterclass. And shout outs to Chantelle because I borrowed her incredible graphic for when we talked about the YouTube channel banner. If you haven't, you should definitely check out Chantel's website. I'm sure there will be a link in the description. But I say that to say that was an intentional live stream I did for teaching, right? And I knew
Mhm.
that I would pay attention to chat, but it was mostly about that moment of following along.
Yeah.
And I have people to this day that are like, I followed along with the stream, incredibly helpful. But I don't know if those people care so much about the chat. So I think it goes back to what is the purpose of the stream and how important are you in stream emphasizing the chat?
Yeah. Oh, that's actually an excellent point because not everybody does emphasize the chat.
Mm,
So, and I personally, when I'm watching live streams, if people don't respond to the chat even at all, or even a small amount, like I get it if they're doing like a you come in a bit late and they're doing a bit that they're pre-recording, that's a
yeah.
different story. But if you come in and they're just ignoring the whole chat, and you're just like, oh, do they talk to anyone? And people say, oh no, they never do. We just talk to each other, and you're just like, well, good that we talk to each other, but that's really. So, speaking of the chat, we should say hello to a few people that are jumping in.
Yes.
Now that I'm not going to say the technical issues are over, but we've got quite a few people in. Like we've got Doug. Thank you, Doug, for jumping in on your public holiday and getting up early. Um, Dimmy Hart is in here. The Artist
Good to see
Haven.
you.
Uh, Andrew's here. He's dropping stuff in the chat. Some guy called Andrew K. I've modded
Don't
him.
know.
I really need to look into who that is. Um, Ramona Bush is here as well. Dylan Phillips. live stream consultants. David Matney's just jumped in. It's great to see you, David. And yeah, so like for me, it is important because I want your questions. I want you to feel I want you to feel like you can jump in, like you're part of it. Now, I don't bring guests on stat like where Andrew is. I prearrange that. Um, but I do want your questions. So we've got living with Parkinson is first time in one of your chats, one of your live streams. It's excellent. Well, thank you for jumping in, and we appreciate you being here
Thank you.
as well. Because sometimes, especially if it's your first time in a live chat, you don't know how the rest of the chat are going to respond to you either. Like if you've got a question. So the chats themselves can be clicky, I think. Have
Yeah.
you noticed that?
Oh, absolutely. I think it also goes down to the host, right? Like, I think it's the environment you foster. I will say Chantelle does an incredible job of acknowledging and engaging with the chat. But I've also been on some streams that have, 10,000 folks, and that
That's
is
hard.
hard to
That's hard.
monitor.
Yeah.
But I've also seen some streams with like 200, 300 people, and there's a good job of not making it click. Obviously, there are some friends, but I think it always comes down to balance. So if you are thinking about, going live, it's really important to have good moderators because
I
they can help that.
I look, I have to agree. As someone who moderates for a lot of people, I have to agree. I think a moderator can change the tone of a chat. And whether that's in the positive or the negative. And I think you need to have yourself a good moderator that matches the streamer and the audience, like everyone's on the same page. I think
Yeah.
that that's a really important thing. I'm trying really hard not to just drag out the soapbox on this one, Andrew. Because I honestly believe there's a lot of live chats that could be saved if they just had a decent moderator in there. Um,
I I think that has been I think it goes back to community, right? And I think that that's some of the things that you were looking at these YouTube updates, right? And I think that's almost as cool as a lot of these updates are from a technicals perspective. And some of the updates, if you're just joining, are you can now have the same chat for both vertical and horizontal live streaming. You can do so much more when it comes to live streaming. But one thing I noticed, and if you've watched my channel, I know Chantel, you know this, but I'm going to let the audience know too,
Absolutely.
is that I every update go, and what about channel guidelines? And I hear crickets. But the reason I flag these things is because they're community based features.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to me that a lot of live stream updates never tend to focus on that side of it, right? And I think that the experience can be better on YouTube, and that's why I flag it, right? If you don't know, channel guidelines are a way that a streamer can set the tone of what they want for the chat. Now, this has been a beta
And the
feature now for
audience
4
member
years.
has to agree to it before they can chat. It's a
Correct.
pop-up that blocks the chat. So it's nearly like an agreement, um, so that you can, so that, if somebody ends up getting banned and they're like, "Why did I get banned?" It's like, you broke the agreement.
Agreed.
So, yeah, channel guidelines. I've got them for my other channel. They came through. I'm in the very long-running experiment. Um, but not here, not here. So, David Matney's got a question. If we can just swing
Yeah.
around to it, he's like, "Can you ban words in chat, like for comments?" It's the same. It's the same block words list.
Hmm.
So if you find that there's words that are being used in your live chat, um, that you don't like, you can just use the same block words list as you do for the rest of your YouTube moderation, and just add them in there. I've found that on occasion, especially when they just kept, somebody ended up being booted and they keep coming back and they keep coming back. Quite often they'll have a similar channel name. So you can grab
Hmm.
some of the words out of their channel name and throw those into the block words list. So nothing they posts. So you've got some ways around that as well. But yeah, it's the same block words list as you use for the rest of your channel. Oh,
And
live stream
live stream
consultants. There you go.
so a lot of what we're talking about is what is announced in the Made on YouTube event. Chantel, maybe we could share that on screen, or we can
Yeah,
try.
we can
I,
try. We can
it's
but
funny.
try, Andrew.
Oh, you know what? Try again. So a lot of what we're talking about is stuff that YouTube says they are bringing to live streaming.
That's
And
right.
so
It may not be here just yet.
but if you're watching the
So,
replay, it probably is. And let us know what you think about a lot of these features because I think they're going to be huge for the live streaming ecosystem. And I think a huge win for us who love live is that they are investing in the live streaming side of YouTube. And anytime there's an investment, you know, we get excited.
yeah, we do. And because especially it seems to me and because I take it personally every year, it seems to me that they quite often don't invest in live streaming, and it's like shorts or something else that is the next big thing. But this year they really did have a big focus on live streaming. Now, for me, a lot of it was a bit like, well, I'm not going to be able to use that. Like this practice before you going live, and the two and having both vertical and horizontal live streams together. I don't stream directly from YouTube like ever. I don't use their built-in tools. So that means I won't get access to those features unless I go in to use those tools. So, so for me personally, but I know a lot of people still do. So I'm glad it exists. Even though I won't get the benefit out of it myself, the live streaming community will. And knowing that live streaming is at the forefront of YouTube's plan or brain, for want of a better word, means that maybe just some of this other stuff that I really do want may happen as well. So, so on screen right now, I've just got the latest YouTube, the blog here from the September 16, where they do announce on average over 30% of daily logged in YouTube viewers watch live content in Q2 of 2025 alone. Like that's massive. That's massive numbers. Now, I've got this section here where it was helping you get started. We heard that getting started can be daunting. So we
Yep.
built in an option to practice before you go live. They do make that sound like it's already there.
They again, they say at the end, I believe, of this article that a
I'm
lot
just
of
going to
these
scroll to
features,
the bottom.
like I think it's something like we know live stream is hard work. They're just trying to get a lot of these out. They're building them. It doesn't mean they're out right at this moment.
Okay, I understand. I understand. And that how they're using that language could be why somebody like live streaming consultants assumed it was already there. Some of that language does make it sound like it could possibly already be there. But if it's not there now, just keep going back and checking, and because it will pop out. And I'm sure if you follow like YouTube updates or create a liaison over on Twitter, they'll announce when things are actually live.
They do.
So yeah.
I wanted to get your opinion because one thing I saw in the like video, which is weirdly absent from, this post is that
Yeah.
they said that you should be able to do multi-streaming to short or to vertical and shorts. And maybe I misread it because like some of the language is very lawyer approved because I get it as a company the scale of YouTube needs to protect themselves. But I think they
Yeah.
said that you should be able to do so with your favorite RTMP because I think they know that a lot of people will be expecting that level of functionality. And even in the image, which is not that well defined in the if you go to prioritizing discoverability, they show stream keys. So I believe you should be able to use your favorite streamer of choice to do both. That is a caveat, and I am not 100% sure.
So I think that with that, I think that's the plan down the track. But until it's in the API and
Correct.
these companies have had time to build out their features to match it, YouTube giving them access to the API, like having that as accessible in the API, as well as giving the stream keys, that's absolutely the first step. Because these other companies can't go out like, well, they can sort of line it up as best as possible, but until they know what they have to build and what boxes they have to tick for for like the research and API side of it, there's no real point in them going and doing this. So until YouTube give them that access, so it could come quicker than we think if YouTube have already done it. So I don't know what they've put in the API. Um, so, but I think that I'm like so hopeful that it becomes a thing and that it becomes easily doable. I do believe that if your intention is to stream vertically, you should have a moderator.
Mhm.
You get a very different subsection of the YouTube audience by streaming vertically than you do when you stream horizontally. And so,
Yeah.
if you don't usually feel like you need a moderator, I would have one at least for the first couple of times to use vertical live streaming, just in case. Just in case.
Agreed. This actually it's interesting because Russell in the chat says, "When you go live on YouTube, is it sent or featured to your subscribers or folks who have viewed your content?" Right? So YouTube has a very different way they handle each different recommendation system on their platform, which is a fancy way to say it depends. So
Mhm.
YouTube has identified, if you ever look in your audience tab, it knows who watches just your videos, who watches your shorts, who overlaps in those, right? So
Yeah.
YouTube will send those to those folks first, and then as more people watch, they will share it broader.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I brought this up and the reason we brought up vertical and horizontal live streaming for me is that with them bringing those two together, it's going to be one unified chat, which I think is a great experience. And to your
Yes.
point, Chantel, really heightens why you need a moderator because I have gone live, not on my own channel, but I've guested, and man, is that chat different. Because one thing that YouTube is doing in this new event is they're prioritizing, as they say, discoverability. And that is a beautiful function of, vertical live streaming. And I actually saw a live streaming company called Meld Studios, no affiliation, but they did this where they were getting more views on the vertical than they were they're horizontal on other platforms, right? And that's just kind of the beauty of why you might want to go live on vertical live streaming.
Yeah. It's definitely got there's a different discoverability by going vertical. It's a different it is a totally different audience. And it may still be it's a subsection of your audience that may not normally watch unless you are vertical because there is the convenience factor of making things vertical and being in the vertical
Yeah.
feeds and you just appearing. Now I know um Kathy, she came in late because she didn't get notified. Um and this is one of those things where, like, what I tell my audience is, like, I stream at this same time, same bat station, and it's because you never know exactly who YouTube's going to let know, and if you're relying on that notification system, um, I think that you're kinda shooting yourself in your own foot. You need to be making extra effort. Like, I if it's your first one or something like that, it's very different because you really need that notification system because you don't have a live audience to tell you'll be back at the same bat time, bat station. But as you stream more, you should probably look at having as much of a schedule as you can. And I know not everybody can, and depending on the content and why you stream and things like that. But having that schedule makes it easier for things like organizing moderators and for the people around. Like my Thursday audience, they know that I stream at 10 a.m. Thursday, Brisbane time, even if I haven't got the thing up, unless there's a note saying I'm not streaming, the stream will start. So sometimes I don't schedule it till like an hour beforehand because I'm just slack. That's really what it boils down to. Just slack. Um,
Too many Slack notifications. I get it. I'm just kidding.
we've got learn live streaming. I kind of wish people wouldn't talk about the new upcoming features until they're actually widely available. It produces nothing but hype and FOMO. Um, Look, I understand where you're coming from. I do because
I
quite
do.
often, um, these features roll out to the US only. Like you look at like a lot of the new features, like the what is it? The not the hype, the Doug, we were talking about it on Saturday with the little fall icons and graphics and
Yeah.
but that and I initially had like, well, it's not fall here, is it? But then realized, well, actually it's a US only thing anyway. So then yeah, it
But
does.
But hey, sometimes they will throw you for a loop. And right now, Canada has YouTube Create on iPhones before everyone else. And it's like, okay. So, you can never know
Really?
how
You
YouTube.
just
Yep.
don't know.
You never know with that, yeah,
Oh.
YouTube, but I understand exactly what you're saying. I think live stream consultants for me and Chantelle here, the reason we're talking about this is there's still
Mm.
a lot of people who don't know about these updates and they're interested in going live. And
Yeah.
so if we don't talk about them, we're doing a disservice to that audience. Though I understand, I think we tried to say that these features aren't out, and this might also be we had a little bit of technical hiccups at the
We did
beginning.
have some technical hiccups at the beginning. That's such a generous way to put it.
You know,
I would have gone with dumpster fire, but that's cool. Technical
you know,
hiccups.
technical hiccups, dumpster fire, they're really like cousins on the long
Interchangeable.
family branches of live streaming, truly.
But yeah, no, we did say that these are things that YouTube have announced and that may or may not be out yet.
Correct.
Russell has come in with, where can you get moderators? Is there a school or an expert who has trained a bunch of them?
So Chantelle Hills at chantellehills.com
See,
should definitely.
Russell is like, he's been pushing me to like write a book and make a course because he's so encouraging, and I haven't done it. Is really what it's boiled
And,
down. I mean, I've
and
written
I
the rough outline of a book, but that's it.
And Russell, you can't even pay her to do it. I've been trying to pay her to do. I'm glad this came up. I've been trying to pay her to do this exact thing. So thank you. Chantelle's like, oh no, he is.
Technical difficulties. The stream.
Oh no.
Oh goodness me. But yeah,
But
no.
if I may,
Serious
Chantelle,
answer to
you
the
should.
question for Russell. There's, as far as I'm aware, short of like corporate level moderators for like webinars and stuff like that cost thousands to have at this stage. I believe the answer is no. I think the rest of us are just learning by the seat of our pants, and then sharing our knowledge with other people as well, and trying to get people to understand the importance of looking after their own chats, helping other people look after their chats. But yeah, it's one of those things that it will happen eventually. So, Livestream Consultants has said, the thing I would like to see is the mobile tagging, RTMP into YouTube to take advantage of outside software features as well as the horizontal and vertical live, but it depends on how the vertical is applied. I'm just ignoring other things in the chat right now. Just scroll right past them.
I see that Doug has added Renee, but I don't see his chats coming through.
I don't see anything either. I don't think, like, Renee doesn't usually join our streams.
I saw Doug tag him.
Really? I
Yeah.
saw Livestream Consultants tag Doug and Renee. I didn't see Doug, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
Maybe I'm misreading chat. It is going
That's
fast.
okay. That's all right.
I could be wrong.
That's okay. And Livestream Consultants, that's why Chantelle has the enormous band hammer behind her chair.
Oh, Doug said, "Hey, YouTube." That's what I confused it with. That's why.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, like I think that one of these things that would be great is, do you remember when YouTube used to have like the YouTube Academy and you could do like the certificates and stuff? And you could,
Yes.
I thought that was great. Like, was I alone in thinking that was great?
Let us know. We should poll the audience. Polls. Should they bring back the Academy?
Bring back the Academy. It sounds very Star Trek. Oops.
It does. I miss it. I do think I think one thing I've had to learn as I have grown in my YouTube career and I've worked for some major companies, not at the scale of Google, but I've had the pleasure of working with companies such as Salesforce, and when they make a change, even a small one, it is moving a cruise ship and it is not easy to maneuver that thing. And
Yeah.
so like a famous Half-Life phrase, shout outs to people who've played it, is prepare for unseen consequences.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's easy to say that. I know, and this goes back to those academies and stuff, is that YouTube really looks at how many people are doing them. And I
Mm.
remember the usage numbers YouTube would
It
say
was
is
so
low.
low. It was so low. I think part of it though is people didn't know it was there.
I mean, but that goes back to live stream consultants, right? Like if we don't talk about features, even when they're coming up, if they're not used right away, YouTube's like, "Oh, I guess no one liked it." It's like, "No, wait, give it more
Yoink.
time."
Okay, fine. We'll just rip that out of the server. Living with Parkinson's, I've been wanting to go live on my channel, but because of my Parkinson's, I have tremors and speech issues. But I'm going to go live anyway because I believe I have a story to tell.
You
And I
do.
think that's awesome. You should totally do that. I have a mild stutter and I have certain things that trigger it worse than others. So I try really hard to make sure that they're not in this environment when I'm live streaming. Unfortunately, getting stressed out and my brain freaking out causes them as well. And also, it's a stutter, and like scientifically, they don't actually know what the cause is, but I know what extra things set mine off personally. So I think if I can do it, you can as well. And I know mine is very, very mild. Oh gosh, I forgot Andrew was. I would go very mild compared to Parkinson's. Um, but I understand it on a very small scale that it is something that can absolutely put you off because you don't want to put that out there. But I think that if you've got a story to tell, then you need to tell it.
Yeah.
And I think that no matter what else is going on, that you should tell your story.
I fully agree, and if I would like to go a step further, when you do go live, can you please tag me and Chantelle, and we'll show
Absolutely.
up.
Absolutely. Let us
Of
know that
course,
it's
I will say
happening.
pending the time, pending when you decide,
Yeah.
all the
We
live
will try
factors,
our
you know?
best
We will do
to
our
get there.
best.
Andrew's on California time and he is on California time. And so like, oh, the waves are up. I can't attend a live stream. Um because Andrew is such a beach guy. And so but for me, I'm in Australia, so at some stage I do need to sleep. I don't actually know when I'll be sleeping this week, but I will be sleeping. So I'm just
I'm
scrolling through the
holding you
chat
to
here.
that.
Russell says it'd be a great course name would be Hammer Masters.
The
Um,
SEO will be crazy for AI. It's like, so it doesn't really talk about hammers. It's more of
yeah,
an abstract hammer.
there's actually no hammers discussed. Uh, this is fake news, people. This is nothing to do with hammers. Those builders can just leave. Um, Kathy Arts says that she'll be. Oh, come on, that she'll be there as well. Absolutely.
Right.
So Andrew's within an hour of snow as well. Are you an hour away from snow?
Yes, I could go to a beach, a desert, a mountain with snow, and I said mountain with no T for my Californians out there. If you want to hear the Californian accent, I don't like the T. So it's mountains? Nah, not in California, it's mountain.
I love the tea.
And that's why we're sipping it.
That's why we're sipping it. And
But
that's
yeah,
right.
no,
In
you
Australia,
can
we've just
do
had
those
a
biomes.
couple of states change over to daylight savings. They need to stop doing that, but that's what they do. So
They're
beanie
trying
drawers.
to save daylight. I get it. It's under attack.
Queensland, the state I live in, did a referendum like 30 years ago or something. I don't remember. I was a kid. I remember my mum hated it because she was trying to put us to bed and the sun's still out at like 9 o'clock at night. And we're all just like, no, the sun's out. We're still allowed outside because we're like like Xennials and millennials. You didn't come home till the street lights went on. And
Mm.
and then there was the whole, it'll fade your curtains. It'll like you just like, do you understand how sunlight actually works? We don't actually get an extra hour of sunlight, right? You know that. Anyway, Sorry, it does crack me up. And like the cows have to get milked at a certain time, and they don't like waiting, and like there were all these reasons why we couldn't have it here. And
The light needs to be
yeah, such a
safe.
Queenslander, the anti-daylight savings thing. Yep, yep, yep. We don't need more sunlight, honestly. We just don't. Uh,
Russell calls me out. Those who live in their studio 24/7 don't appreciate daylight. In fact, they close it off. Not me with my blackout curtains.
I'm just looking at my blackout curtains as well. Like I have a glass, like a huge double glass pane window, and it is covered with blackout. Oh my goodness.
Um,
It's because when we
I
live
did
stream, we want to control the light. That's what it is. We have
yes.
control issues. We want to control the light. We want to give you this feeling of that we may be on the same time zone. Like you look at Andrew and I, and it looks like we could possibly both be early evening. It's not the
We have been
case.
in the same time zones on multiple occasions.
We have. We have, just not today.
Not today, but one day soon.
Yep.
I actually had a question for you, Chantelle, and it
Okay.
goes into a feature that YouTube also announced, which
Mm.
is the ability to react live to content on YouTube. And like within a live stream, what are your thoughts on that? Where like it'll be allowing anyone to start a vertical live stream on mobile and you can react to other live events.
I think for some niches that will be amazing. Like if you are somebody who is reacting to say sports content or something like that, that
Mm,
would be phenomenal. I can see that it would be weaponized. And I'm not a fan of that. I also know that with a lot of these things that you can opt out of them. Is this something we can
yeah.
opt out of? I'll be opting out so hard. Um,
I want to react to you reacting though. How am I going to do that on my live stream? Chantel's live. I'm live reacting. That was a good point. Really well said, Chantel. You imagine that's the whole live stream is I'm just
or
like,
just
yeah, I
nodding.
like that.
The nodding. That's the
Uh,
laziest content in the world is just the
So I actually have a thought on this, and
mm,
I wanted to share it here. So in a lot of countries, Japan comes to mind.
mhm.
It is very common for folks to eat alone, and sometimes they want to, be with their favorite content creators, and but they also want to watch a live event, right? And sometimes what I found, and I think psychological from a psychology standpoint is that it's different watching like why are reaction videos popular because you get to see how other people feel and there's something about reacting in real time that one helps those independent creators like you mentioned sports comes to mind. I think if
I'm
made on
sure there'd be a
YouTube
lot
ever
of
goes live.
yeah, I'm sure there'd be other niches that would work really well in, but that's the one that just jumped into my forefront.
Doug says shorts reaction feature is just nodding. I mean, it's just I will test this on Doug's stream. I'm going to be like, great job, Doug. There's just going to be a hype Doug stream. You could just watch Doug's stream, but no, I'm going to hype him up in
Well, and that's
mine
the thing. Like, if you are trying to like encourage, like, if you are reacting to a friend stream, why aren't you just in the stream watching?
because I have to react. There's a difference, you know?
Oh, it's like you got to turn it into your job. It's part of my job today. Part of my job.
Could you imagine? I just wait for Chantel's stream where she's reacting. I don't know why Andrew keeps making puns. Just hit play again on the live.
Don't know why. Oh, one
One
way to
way
get
to get
Andrew
me
up
up early.
early.
Hey, I actually was in your live stream this week.
You did. You made it. And I'm not kidding. Like every time I see your name appear in a chat, I'm just like water.
This is my welcome to Hydration Nation. If you're just joining the live stream, it might have been a while since you've had a drink of water. Chantelle recommends you drink water whenever you hear this message. Someone asked me, "Is Hydration Nation real?" I'm like, "No," but at this point, I feel like we've got to we
Is it?
gotta make it
Is the
real.
URL available? Is the question. Is the URL available? And just quickly
Hydration. I
checking.
can't imagine it.
I
No, it's gone.
yeah. I was thinking it would have to be. What
It's too good.
it is. It is too good. So look, when it comes to all the features that YouTube announce that are upcoming, and yeah, Russell's convinced that my water bottle's not just water. it must harbor other clear beverages due to how much I giggle. Uh, but yeah, no, that's an ongoing joke. But with YouTube announcing all these and it is quite a broad range of options, whether it's the new uh, vertical live gem features and stickers, the ability to stream in multiple sort of rotations, the my brain is totally just left 14 of them on the because there was like was it 30 new live stream
30,
features?
well, I think it was 30 overall, but I think it was a big chunk was, excuse me, live.
Yeah. And while you may look at that list and just think, well, none of these are for me, you need to look at it from a different perspective. Because I did the same thing. I just went, "Pff, yeah, okay, cool. None of this is anything I'll use. Where are the things I actually want? Um, but the reality is, some of these things could help somebody else. And with especially with the vertical streaming, I don't vertical stream just because I don't like dealing with the vertical people. Um, sorry, vertical people, like the entire
I think
population of the world.
I think one thing to remember, and learn live streaming post this. Some of these new features sound rather TikTok-esque, and that is very true.
And very
YouTube Shorts.
twitchy. They're very twitchy as well.
Mm.
So they've been tested elsewhere and they worked so much that they caught YouTube's eye.
Yeah, and I think that the vertical chat tends to be younger, and that is because, that format really gravitates to people who love their phones. I think that one thing I have to remind myself when I do a vertical live on someone else's, again, I probably should just do one, is that it is broad appealing. And when you reach a broad audience, you will not always hit your audience. But the other side of that is it gives you a better chance, one, to reach new people you may have never reached. And then
Yeah.
two, I also think it's important that we say that I don't think you don't like the vertical community, but it is definitely a younger community that is figuring it out as we're building this plane.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Um, One of the things I will say is, especially when you are appealing to a broader audience or a broader audience is finding you, many like just as like a story for you all. Many years ago, I had someone randomly find the Fiberific live stream. Like I was knitting or crocheting on a live stream, chatting with my chat like I do. I've been doing that now for nearly 10 years, which is just shocking. But yeah, that's been going a long time now. And um, this guy wandered in to the chat and was sort of gentle trolling. He's now been part of our community for 10 years. He now spins and knits and weaves. And he came in just to take the mickey. He sent me a message like a couple of years later, like, I really had no intention of becoming part of your community, but you don't know how you're going to impact somebody. So I think that's something that's really important to keep in mind as well. Just because you have this very rigid, this is what I'm going to be doing and these are the people I'm going to be impacting, you don't know exactly what impact you're going to have somebody. And absolutely, yes, I did for sure. Totally brainwashed. It's like, please come into my chat. You shall learn how to make things with yarn. You will be useful to society. No. But yeah, I think that's something important is you don't know who you're going to impact. And you also don't know who's watching your live chats. You don't get
Or
to,
your replays.
yeah. Something really important to keep in mind when you are live chatting, even when you look at that list of people in the live chat, that's only showing the people who have actively chatted within a certain period of time. So if somebody is just watching the live chat, all you know is a number. You don't know exactly how many of those people are chatting actively. So the power of live, absolutely.
And I think the live power goes to replay too. I actually recently on a live stream had YouTube themselves comment on a live stream, and I'm like, oh God, I forgot you were on your own platform. I was like, was this a stream that I was particularly mean at YouTube, or was I in a good mood? You know,
It's like just
sometimes.
quickly goes back and rewatches the stream.
Right, I was like, I feel like I tend to have a realistic, leaning positive viewpoint on YouTube.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like I said here, when it comes to my channel guidelines, I won't let it go until they're available to everyone. But sometimes you don't know who is watching, and I think you nailed it there. And I think Chantel, that's a testament to your ability as a content creator, as a community expert, and as someone who understands the value of changing people's opinions and minds, right? And I think that's what you excel at. And I always love supporting you and your streams. I've watched a couple of Fiberific streams as well, right? And for me, it's just about supporting my friends and creators I believe in. And I think that is super powerful.
Yeah, I think knowing who your audience is one thing, but being open to new audience is another. And there are days where I'm better at that than others. So I must have been having a good day.
I mean, I've had some streams that have been shared in communities where they're like, "Hey, I came from this community." I'm like, I don't know what community this is, but welcome." And then I look
Yeah.
it up, and it turns out like they've been watching for a bit, and they've just been kind of silent. And it's like you don't know.
Yeah. We have a question from Beanie
Sure.
Draws. And it's like actually a question. Does the pop out URL for the chat change for each stream? Yeah, it does. You need to go and copy and paste it every time. Um, at least that's been my experience. Has that changed?
I don't know if he's talking about right now or if he means when they meld the chats.
He says, I've been trying to get Kathy Art's chat on screen to work consistently, but it seems the URL changes.
It does change, I believe, per
Mm.
stream. I could be wrong.
I
One
thought it
thing you
changed.
could go ahead.
I thought it changed every stream as well. I'm not a big fan of having the live chat run down the screen. Just because if you do get a troll in there, your channel can be pulled down based on what the troll posts because that's hard burned into your stream. And that's why I don't do that. But as far as I'm aware, it does change. So
I believe it does. Let me see.
Doug is also saying when that experiment tag on the guidelines is removed, he'll have a party.
Same.
Yeah.
I also know that for YouTube chat, like it's because I worked in YouTube tools for so long. It's YouTube chat. It's youtube.com/live/underscore chat question mark is pop out
Yeah.
equals, and it is independently linked to that ID. But I wonder if we equal to your unique channel URL, if that will
Yeah.
override it.
Maybe.
This is very technical. Don't worry, folks. All that is to say, plausibly.
Yeah. You might be able to swing it. Maybe.
And you know what else you might be able to swing? Some of these new updates. What are your thoughts? We got it. You zig and you zag, Chantelle. I
Absolutely.
wanted to also.
Look, it totally fits in with how these live streams run. It's so on brand.
But, it is on brand. And you know what else is on brand? Having brands on screen in this new YouTube update. We got it back. What are your thoughts on them letting you have side-by-side ads as you're live?
Look, I personally don't run ads during my live streams because of how it is distracting and annoying for my audience. And I know that's
What
not
do
the
you
case
mean?
for
On
every
mobile,
live
I
stream.
get 50 ads. I love the 50 ads you said. Chantelle.
Apparently, Renee says they're working on it. So on that
Good,
particular issue, so that's really
good.
good. So at least now I know someone thinks it's an issue, so that's always good because every message I got back from YouTube was just like, "This is how you do ads." I'm like, "I know how to do ads. I do. My screenshot matches yours. This system is broken." Very angry. I was very upset about the whole thing because I've got ladies in my chat on Thursdays who are like, I've been in the chat for like 40 minutes and I've had 6 ads that block the chat. And because of how our live streams run, if it blocks the chat, they lose half of the conversation. But the actual side by sides is a little bit different. And
Yeah.
and the thing that I like about the side by sides is when it first comes up, it actually the audio of the ad takes over.
Yeah.
And is but you can click a button as a viewer and listen to the live stream instead. There is that ability. So you don't have to have the audio overpowering what you're actually watching and still get the visual of the ad there. So that'll make it so the advertisers have to actually get really clever with the visuals, which I think could be really fun as well. If you're somebody who likes to run ads in your live streams and things like this, I think it could actually be really good. Um, so yeah, look, I'm a bit torn because I personally don't use ads in my live streams, but I know a lot do. And I think it's going to be a really interesting experiment to see how it works out in the real world with real audiences dealing with it and needing to click the buttons to turn off the audio, or do they just turn off the live stream? You don't know yet.
I think for me, if there's a way that if you buy membership that those ads are not shown, it could be a good way
Wouldn't
to.
that be amazing?
Mhm.
But
I think
that's
that's a good way to support creators and like that.
Yeah, but at the moment, the membership fees don't cover the ad-free sections. It's only premium users who get to have an ad-free experience. And I've had this discussion with members before who assumed that because they pay a membership fee that they don't get the ads. And they're like, well, actually, they're two totally different things. So
But as we're talking, that'd be a great YouTube feature, monetization section different for members. And I think that's why, going back to a comment earlier, it's so important to have these conversations on upcoming features because we can, this is something I'm going to submit to YouTube in like the feedback section. I'll email a couple of my contacts because, like,
yeah,
that's a great point. We absolutely should be able to turn off only ads for members, and or if they buy a membership, ads are turned off because they're already supporting the creator, and
yeah.
YouTube takes
And you should
30%
take
of that.
30%.
Yes.
Like
Look, we're
seriously, on
cooking,
this
Chantelle.
channel, we have Buy Me a Coffee because this channel has not reached the monetization level of views yet. So it's linked in the pin. Um, so YouTube don't get any cut of that. But Buy Me a Coffee, by the time Buy Me a Coffee take their bit and Stripe take their bit, I get 90% of that into my bank account within about 3 or 4 days. Whereas with YouTube, they take 30% and it can take up to 60 days for it, depending on when that super chat or membership was started. Um, so, and I agree with Doug here. It should be on the higher tiers as well. So if you have like a $5 tier, um, that you can say, hey, they get an ad free experience. That would be amazing if you could guarantee that to your audience. Um,
I do that in my offsite membership, and I see Russell says Justin, I'm assuming Justin Brown, has posted videos
yeah,
ad-free in his new.
yeah,
I think it is a great addition. I know right now you can schedule videos members only and turn those off on ads, but it's not super seamless.
yeah, yeah.
Agreed with what Doug said as well.
Yeah, so apparently Twitch uses a feature that members don't see ads as well. So yeah, I think if you have like a higher tier, not the 199, I agree with that. Have a higher tier membership. So YouTube are getting like a decent chunk of coin from that person each month. I don't see the downside of that. So yeah. Oh, here we go. Solving YouTube pain points one feature at a time. YouTube really
But
should be
that's
watching this live chat.
But also, like, to YouTube's credit,
Yeah.
and why we started this, the amount of updates, 30 updates at the end of the year, all coming out very soon, is impressive. The
Yeah.
amount of people on just the team that is working hard to give us new features. Shout outs to YouTube. We're usually
Oh,
critical of them,
yeah, like,
but
how many
we're
years have
critical
we
because we love them.
asked? Yeah, well, and that's the thing, we're so hopeful. We're like, we want this to be so amazing for everybody, for the creators, for the audience, for YouTube. We want it to be sustainable into the future. We want all these good things. It's like when you know someone could do better and you just harass them into doing things. I don't feel personally involved in that statement at all, but, just having the ability to be able to have these 30 things this year, because there've been years where we've had none or like one, and it's been a bit like, "Yeah, that was great." Um, but this year we got 30. And
Yeah.
while as individuals we may or may not use all of that 30 will just lead into more coming down coming down the pipeline. It's kind of like, I'm just going to just throw this analogy out there. It's like Star Trek Discovery wasn't great, but it fed into the world of bringing a strange new world into Picard seasons. So, it showed YouTube that we want more. So use it or lose it.
100%.
Russell didn't hear anything. You didn't hear anything just then, Russell. Now, I just want to bring this one up here, living with Parkinson's. I had to talk to Andrew on his live on his channel some months ago about a stuttering issue I had, and he convinced me to go ahead and start this channel. Thank you so much for that talk, Andrew.
You're going to make me emotional. Well, first off, thank you living with Parkinson, because like I said it then and I'll say it now. Your voice matters. There's a reason that Chantelle and I said when you go live, we will be there, and it's because we care. And we don't say that, we don't say that half-hearted. We mean it. And I'm so glad that you went live and that you've started to publish. I have to say that, your story needed to be heard, and it still needs to be heard. And, we joke and we jest a lot, but that is the power of a live stream. That is the power of the community that we've all built here. So first off, thank you. And second off, keep going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Doug has jumped in with a scoop. At Mobile is coming, timing to be determined.
Did you tweet at Renee?
Yeah, I'm like, what's with our scoops? Last week, I'd been messaging with my boss at Vid Summit, and I'm like, when can I talk about the live streams? I want to talk. We're getting questions. It's good. And I got approval, and it was just as somebody had asked the question in Doug's live chat, like, hey, does anyone know if there's going to be live streams for Vid Summit? And I was like, I had my Slack open and I look over and I saw my boss typing, and it was just right then. I got the links and everything. Like, yes, you can talk about it. Here's the link to buy tickets. And I was just like, scoop for Doug. Here we go. So, by the way, if you can't make it to Dallas for Vid Summit, you can absolutely watch the live stream. I'll be moderating them, all 4 at once, which should be fun, as long as it goes well. So yeah. Be nice in the chat.
I believe, if I believe in anything, I believe in Chantelle Hills, and I will back that. So you can quote me, Chantelle. I know that you are a huge advocate of community, but you're also an amazing person who runs a tight ship, and they don't want to see it coming.
Yeah, gosh. But yeah, the email from Daryl should have gone out today. So Russell says he got his, so that's good.
Can I talk to you about something? And I love that we're talking about live streams and Vid Summit, because this is an incredible story that maybe this chat doesn't know, and they should.
Okay.
Do you know? Yeah. I know you know this, Chantelle, but you know our friend Dan Norton, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're brand new to the stream, first off, welcome. Chantelle here runs an incredible show. Please subscribe. Don't forget to like. But second, here's an incredible story about the power of what live streaming can do. Dan Norton in, I think, Vid Summit 2017, 2018, or 2019, pre-pandemic, would help host and run the 24/7 Vid Summit live streams. Crazy, man. I actually picked him up and spun him around, if you can find that live stream moment. It was a lot of fun for both parties, I hope. So I say this to say he went from helping host a live 24/7 stream for Vid Summit to this year, and I think he's spoken years past, speaking on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So live streaming can change your life. Dan met so many people, and Dan, one, great human being. Shout outs to Dan. But two, it goes to show the impact that a simple act, a simple moment in a community can do. Chantelle is another great example. Chantelle, you are a light in so many communities. We always appreciate your work, and you run a very amazing community yourself, right? So people often ask, what's the impact of live? You're living it. And I just wanted to give you your flowers, Chantelle. You deserve it.
Thank you. I don't even
now
know
drink
what to
water.
say. Yeah, I think I'll drink water this time.
But I do mean it. And as we all, let's a toast to Chantelle, Dan, Vid Summit, and everyone watching live or in the replay.
Oh, goodness. But thank you for that.
Of course.
Dan has actually had quite a big impact on me personally. Um, Dan and I connected. I can't remember how or even where we did, but he was the one who recommended me to Primal Video Accelerator, and I'd never heard of it before. Dan gave me the referral and sent me through, and that being part of that community and working with those guys really changed a lot for me as well. So Dan led me onto that path. So Dan's a good guy. He's a good
He
guy.
is. And he's always been an incredible creator. It's funny because people are like, he came out of nowhere. And it's
No, he
when
didn't.
you're in the come up, when you're with them as they're rising, you're like, they didn't come out of nowhere. He's been working.
He's been grinding for like 15 years. Yeah. It's like the overnight music stars that are just like,
Yep.
okay. Like just because you only found me yesterday. Oh, here we go. Doug, thank you for grabbing the link. I didn't have it handy, but Doug's there, got the link there for the virtual tickets for the live streams for Vid Summit.
Ooh.
So it's $199 USD. That gets you the access to the live streams that we'll be running, as well as the replays afterwards. So historically, the replays have been $199. So you're kind of getting the live streams for free. So yeah.
And I
One
also
$199. Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Thank you.
No worries.
$200. It's $200 if we round it up to the nearest hundreds. So yes, no, you're right. You're right. I
shared that in a live, and someone's like, "Wow, it's only $2." I'm like, no. Let me make sure I'm clear." So,
thank you for that. Because
no
you're
worries.
right. It could be totally taken the wrong way. And look, there's people who don't feel that they should have to pay for live streams. So, like, you know, that comment also arose. Like, why would I pay for that? And it's just like, well, you don't have to.
No.
You just don't get it.
We're-
It's not available anywhere else, but you
I
don't have to
think
pay for it.
as someone who I did the math, I've been to a many a vid summit, and even the virtual ones. I have had the pleasure of speaking on stage. I've had a pleasure of being in the audience. I've had a pleasure of just being a sponsor, and I can tell you that when it comes to the event, it is worth it. Whether you're watching virtually with Chantelle, this is where we need React. I need Chantelle to pause every speaker and go, "Good point." Mm.
And I'll just do that on Vid Summit's time. That's fine. No problem. I can't see a conflict of interest.
Carol's watching the
at
stream
all.
like, "What happened?"
We won't be getting her back.
No, Chantelle will run a professional production. But I think to the point is anytime you invest in something like a vid summit or an event, you are investing in yourself. And it is not easy. And trust us, we understand, especially in the global climate we're in, times are tough.
Mm.
But one of the best things I ever did, and I started my YouTube journey in the last recession, the housing crash. I was very young, but I always aspired to do it, right? And I've had the pleasure of, with consistency, with perspective, with friendships like this one, which I'm so grateful to Chantelle, it can happen. So if you're like Price, if it's not there this year, we completely understand. But if you do have it and you want to go, we want to share that.
Yeah. I think that that's something to keep in mind is just because it's not a now thing doesn't mean it's a never thing. It can be a goal. It was on my, I have a list of 5 things that I want to achieve each year. And one year I only had one thing I wanted to achieve and it was that. And then I didn't get it and it did number on me. And so the following year I went back to 5. And it was on the list. And then I started working for creators, so for Daryl's team, and they were like, "Yeah, you got a passport?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, why? And they're like, "Because you'll be
I
coming over to
remember
Vid
this.
Summit." And I didn't tell anybody for a little bit that I was coming over because I'm like waiting for them to like, actually, you know what? You're in Australia. We're not going to bring you over. That's ridiculous. So it took me a little bit to actually accept that they truly, truly were going to bring me over. And it was insane. It was like, obviously I had a slightly different experience from working the conference rather than attending the conference, but the people that were in the room, the feeling there where you have thousands of people who all speak your language, who all are there for the same reason. They're there to learn, they're there to get better at YouTube, they're there to get better at their YouTube creator business. It was so positive. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. And it was literally like you walk into the room and you feel lifted instantly. So, and I'm that person where I do feel a room. Like if I walk into a room and everything feels a bit tense and stressed, I instantly tense up. It's just something that, so for me, when I walked into that hall when people started arriving and everything, and it was just like so much good, happy talk. I didn't hear a single person ask someone, "How many subscribers do you have?" And I'd been to other events where that was the first question people asked, and I don't like that question because I'm like, "Oh, well, I've only got this many," you know? Um, but that's not a conversation topic at Vid Summit because they know that it actually doesn't it's not a big question. There's no judgment attached to it, and it was just this phenomenal. You just floated around and learned things and talked to amazing people who are on the same path and or variations of the same path. So, yeah.
And I also think that, one thing I will say, and I have been to many events in my career. I've been very blessed through my time at TubeBuddy to go to quite a bit. And through the years, Vid Summit has been one of my favorites because of that mojo, that mantra that YouTube is a career and that it is one of the best. In fact, when I was at VidCon, which used to like is still probably the largest known YouTube based event,
Yeah.
everyone who knew YouTube said, and I quote, "I'll see you at Vid Summit." And that's the power of a good event
Yeah.
because during another event, people were already excited for it.
Yeah. And at Vid Summit, people are like, "Are you coming back next year?" "I'm coming back next year." It's like they're planning 12 months in advance. They're booking their hotels and they want to be there. So I think it's just phenomenal. Now I did see a comment here in the chat
Yeah.
that says, Beanie says, "I'm trying to convince Kathy Arts to stop limiting herself to sub count requirements before she does things like merch." Now, what I want to say here is I was limiting myself when it came to channel memberships and merch. Probably a lot of other areas. Russell's here. He'll be like, mm-hmm. But specifically for this membership and merch, I thought, no way. I'm not going to start any of this stuff until I've got like at least 10,000. I'm not even going to think about it. My audience started demanding it. They started asking, where is something that we can have? Where is like for my particular audience being yarn crafters, totes and little zipper things, right? Little zipper pouches. We use like a ton of them. And so I designed some up and they bought them. And I was shocked. Now, like, yes, it's a smaller audience, so you're making less sales, but it's print on demand. There's no outlay for you other than making up the graphics. There's no outlay. And you just, if especially like for you, you've got the ability to make beautiful graphics. You've got Beanie as well, who I'm sure would help with your graphics. You're only limiting yourself. And if you don't make it available for people to say yes to, then their only response is no, because they
Mm.
don't have any other choice. When it came to the channel memberships for Fiberific, I was like, well, I don't even know what I'm going to offer. I've got nothing to offer. I don't have the bandwidth to create extra content or create extra live streams or do anything extra for them. And I had a very smart friend of mine go, well, why don't you just offer them the ability to support you? And so that's what we did for the first couple of years of my channel memberships. It was just 3 different price tiers of nothing extra. And I had 40 to 50 people sign up straight away. And it was just they didn't get anything extra because I couldn't offer anything, or at least I felt I couldn't offer. Now we have a few little extra bits and pieces, but that took years to add those in. But don't limit yourself and don't limit your audience with your own self-limiting beliefs. And I know I do that a lot myself, and I do try to consciously remember it. But and it's a path we all walk on. We get to sort of different new limits, new self limits, new self limits. So as you're like you power through one finally, and you're like, yes, I'm past that. I don't need to worry about that anymore. But then there's another one, and then there's another one, and now I've hit a whole new level of self-limiting beliefs. So I got to work through those. So it is an ongoing game. It's an ongoing game. But Kathy, don't not do these things. You need to give your audience the opportunity to say yes. So that's my feeling on that. Andrew, do you have anything to add?
No, I think to kind of just, echo and support what you said, there's a couple of quotes that come to mind, right? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And so if you think you can do it, you probably will. But if you think you can't or you should wait, you're never going to do it. And one, Kathy, I've had the pleasure of watching you for years. I messaged you privately a couple of, I think, weeks back, and I said, I'm so proud of the work you are doing. And I meant it. And you're doing good work. And to Chantelle's point, if you never give them the choice, then you'll never know. I was hesitant to launch my own memberships. And for me, I was surprised immediately by the support, right? And people are like, "Why were you surprised?" You know, you have a very long history of knowing what you're doing on YouTube. I'm like, yes, but for a long time, I always represented other brands. It was different when it's your own. When I'm hiding, and I say hiding jokingly, when I have the banner of other things in front of me, if people don't want it, it's not me. But when it is yourself, you know, it becomes a different conversation. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
what I've learned through it is I've learned more by trying and not always getting it right, because you don't learn a thing in success. You learn a lot in a quote unquote failure. And so you're going to have hiccups. You're going to have bumps. Everyone does. But I have a mantra, which is publish is better than perfect. So publish your membership, publish that merch. Make sure it'll never be perfect. If someone's always going to find something. You can
Yeah.
be the sweetest apple in the tree. There's always going to be someone who hates apples, but you'll never know if you don't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shout out to Dita Von Teese for that Apple quote. I try to make sure I give credit when I can remember and or I know who did it.
Awesome. eh, Doug is asking if we've talked about the public to members only yet. We have not. And this is probably a perfect time to do a U-turn and bring it back in.
Yeah.
Uh, what
A
do you think about
boomerang, if you will.
it is a bit of a boomerang, but with a soft landing. Um, it is a bit of a soft landing on that boomerang, but yeah, public to members. I love the idea of it. Honestly, being able to
Yeah.
have a live stream and then at a point go, okay, everybody, the next bit's for members only, and just click a button, and then everyone else has dropped off, and your members get to stay. Like, I actually think that's a fantastic feature and something that you can offer to your membership. And you're already there. You're already in the chair. Everything's already set up. It's not like a whole extra thing. It's just a bit of
Yeah.
extra, like an extra half an hour, an extra hour maybe. What are your feelings on it?
I fully agree. I also think that a lot of times people don't know you have memberships because to the conversation we were just having, it can be daunting to bring it up. Sometimes you don't want to oversell it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to constantly remind folks of it because
Yeah.
it can feel weird. Like
Yeah.
a lot of times people will tell me, I didn't even know you had this. I'm like, well, we were having a good conversation. And I don't want to be, by the way,
Yeah, by the
like there's
way, if you
always
click my buy me a coffee link,
yeah,
there is actually an
right.
option there for monthly
Right.
support.
Right. So there's a time and place. But what I like about public to members only live streams with YouTube is that it gives you a way to thank the people who supported you publicly live and also give a special moment to those members who have been able to help you as a creator in business do the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think we've I I think we've got to get out of our heads about our memberships, Andrew. And not just you and me, but everybody. Like I know people with 500,000 subscriber channels that have 50 people in their memberships because they never talk about it. And if their audience doesn't know to look and understand what that join button means, then, we have to educate our audiences on these things.
Yeah. And I think that that's what YouTube is trying to do is give creatives that way, and I think public to members only is a really good way to do it. And I think one thing for YouTube is they have a mention that in this support article, which I'll put in the chat, you can
Mm,
see a little bit more of when these features come out. They say
yeah,
for details for when these features will be available, I put it in the chat. You should definitely check this out.
yeah,
And what I will also tell you is that memberships are your community to the next level, right?
yeah,
It is people not only saying, I believe in you, I believe in you so much that I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. And
yeah.
I think that that is a different form of trust. And it shows whether you have, I got my first brand deal at 100 subscribers. I tell people that and they're like, what? And I'm like, sub count didn't matter. They had
Yeah,
seen the content I produced, created, and they believed that in time it'll pay off. And it did. And that one led to another. I
yeah,
have been fortunate enough to where I've had the opportunity to sponsor folks such as Chantelle, other
yeah. I
creatives
think
as
was
well.
mine about 300 when you sponsored my channel. I think it
Yeah,
was
I
it was
mean,
it was very low. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was either for some reason my brain's saying 170, but I don't think it was 170.
I don't remember because it didn't matter.
Yeah,
What
same.
mattered is the message you have, and what my belief in is in you, Chantel. And I want you to know that like I I put my money where my mouth is because I believe in you. And that's, we joke and jest that people in here are like, you should write a book, you should do this. But I think they come from a really sincere place
They
where
do.
they
Yeah,
want to hear it.
yeah. No, they do. I
Now
I
Chantel's
definitely
just too busy.
I definitely feel like the support and the positive encouragement side of it for sure. I sometimes I think surely there's somebody better at this than me that could do this instead. Um, Self-doubt obviously always comes into play. Welcome to my world. Um, but at the same time, like, we've got good friends who've written books that have been like so much fun. So like Stanley's book and
Mm,
Colby's book, it's
yeah.
these are small, well, they were smaller creators at the time who Colby is no longer a small creator, um, who had a message to put out, who had information to share that people needed to read, and they made the book, they made what needed to be. And you know, and Beanie's right. People wouldn't ask for a book if they didn't want a book. Like that is so true. They just and people wouldn't ask for a moderating course if they didn't want a moderating course. Whether or not they want it for themselves or they want to put staff through. I've had a very good friend of mine say that if I ran a moderator course, he has got team that he would put through it. Um, and it's like I've I haven't done it because I'm in this frame of mind of surely there's somebody who's better at this than I am that would do this, but it still hasn't happened. So I'm like, maybe it will have to be me.
I would say that in the fact that you've been asked more than once, I would support it. I think it is a needed skill. I think the thing is, we always think someone else will handle it, but sometimes we're the ones called to handle it. And I think that as someone who has supported Stanley, I know when he wrote his book, I have a copy. It's a really good read. I have a lot of books behind me in the shelf over there, and I think that ultimately that a lot of times there are things that only through our unique experiences, like your experience moderating Vid Summit, will put you in a much better place,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes it's timing. I'm
Yeah.
sure what you're going to learn moderating for live streams is going to really change your opinion.
Yeah.
And
I know
that
that like
growth,
earlier this
go
year,
ahead.
I moderated a live stream solo that had 14,000 people in the chat. That was eye opening. That was a very different, and it was in a niche that I was called in to do it. It was in a niche I'd never watched a video on before. So I'm now obsessed, but that's no, never mind. It's one of these things that I learnt so much from that live stream, and just the event. I was managing moderator, so I was like just throwing block words in just to keep the conversation on track and things like this. So I'm sure that we're going to have a similar experience with Vid Summit with just juggling the 4 different chats, and it's a different caliber of chat because these people are paying for the experience to be there. So it's gonna be very interesting, and it's like when you do webinars and things rather than a YouTube live stream, it's a very interesting shift in the different styles and skills of moderation that'll be required. So, yeah, I
Absolutely.
think I'll learn some stuff for sure.
And like even moderating in person is different than moderating a chat. Like you could go a whole spew of what like one of the first times I ever did a speaking engagement was moderation. And I was like, I've not been a moderator before. And they're like, what are you talking about? You moderate a live chat on live streams every week. And I had to sit there and go, huh, so I have.
But, like,
And then
I'm just sitting here, right, like, going, um, don't you don't like, it's so different, like, it's a totally different skill set to moderate in person. Like, you literally have to, like, interrupt a speaker if they're, like, going off, and, like, I'm that person who'll wait for them to finish their sentence whether or not, like, I don't know if I could do it, like, unless someone's like, "Right, they got 2 minutes each, you've got a timer." Like,
Beanie says, I've seen Andrew had to like moderate the actual speakers was actually cool to watch. So Chantel, it is a skill, but what I will tell you
yeah,
is it's easier if you remember that you want the best experience for the viewer. And
yeah,
I have always tried in my career, in my life, to remember that at the end of the day, the you and YouTube is not you and I individually, Chantel, it is you.
yeah,
You and the audience watching right now. Whether that was, living with Parkinson's, whether it is, Kathy, whether it is Beanie, whether it is Doug, whether it's live stream consultants, whether it is anyone, whether it's Russell, we've had so many amazing people come through this.
yeah,
And that's what we're doing.
yeah. That's why I do it, is for the people that come. That's what gets me doing it every week. That's what keeps my momentum going when I'm feeling like the least worthy to be talking about a topic, is knowing that there'll be people who come in, um, and just not let them down is where my goal comes from. So, yeah. Um, I'm just reading the chat here. Living with Parkinson's says, I really need to start going live because I have only put out 2 videos in 6 months and they're awful, and I believe I would do great live. There's only one way you're gonna find out. It's by doing it. That's it. It's the only way you're gonna find out. So,
And I wanted to comment on the 2 videos in 6 months, right? Like, it's better than 0.
yeah.
And if that's what you can do, we'll take it.
Yeah. Yep. Like, there's no, like, everyone's like,
Unfortunately.
"Oh, you've got to put out at least a video a week." No, you don't. There's perfectly viable channels out there that doing very well that put out a video a month, a video a year even. Um, you just have to balance your expectations of what's gonna come off the back of it, Like, that's it. You can do what you can do, and that's what you do.
Period.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Uh,
also, if I may, as
mm,
we're talking about this, I wanna go back to the article we were reading, and one thing that YouTube says that I think is just so perfect to a lot of what we've been talking about, and it is at the very end. And YouTube says, "We know that live streaming is hard work. It takes courage to push aside the stage fright, skill to keep an audience engaged, and dedication to stay true to yourself while fostering connection in real time. But it's work that pays off by building one of the most powerful things on the internet, a true community." And I think that right there showed me and all the stuff we've been working on and talking about live that YouTube gets it.
yeah,
And I was so, as a user, as a lover of the platform, as a lover of this unique medium, I was like, they nailed it. And that's why we're talking about this.
because for a long time, it felt like YouTube didn't get it. Like, the only thing that they thought about with live streaming was gaming. And there is so much more to live streaming than just gaming. And I'm feeling like they're getting it now.
Yeah.
I feel like that they're realizing it's more than just gaming. Like, and they were doing themselves the disservice by not thinking beyond the gaming. And I think that's where a lot of what we're seeing especially in this year's roundup of tools that they've a lot less of that is about gaming and more about community.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic, and I'm so glad to see that that's where their mindset is over this, and that's where their goal is.
Agreed. And shout outs to the gamers because they paved a lot of the path to prove it was viable.
Absolutely, and that's where I learnt everything for the Fibrific live streams back in, like, 2019, 2018. I had to go and learn from gaming creators because there was no one else putting out the content. I had no options, and they did it phenomenally.
Yep.
They l like, I don't is Gaming Careers channel still around? Because without them, I don't even know if how it would have gone. Like Theo Joe with all his like tech stuff on like
True.
internet and things, because the internet here was a big issue back in. I had 4 down and 2 up, and I was live streaming with it. So between Gaming Careers and Theo Joe, I worked out the technology and the settings and everything to change on my router as well as on my computer to make it happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. I would have believed the forums and the blogs that just said if you don't have 5 up, you can't live stream. So yeah, um, I think we have to give kudos to the gamers, and they're the ones that are driving a lot of the new technology around live streaming, like the fun of being able to have like lights go off when something happens, and like Nutty's just put out a thermal printer that people can send him little printed messages, like when he gets a super chat and it's a little physical printed thing, like all of this comes from from the gamers, but like, and I suppose it probably sounded like I was dissing the gamers before. I wasn't.
No, I didn't
But
think
but
that.
it really felt like YouTube only considered the gaming side of live streaming, but now they've broadened it out. But yeah, it is definitely it's definitely there's so much that can be done. Like I've got a PTZ camera now that I could set up to do some stuff. A friend sent it to me. They're like, "Oh, I'm not using it. You can have it." And I'm just like, "Wait, what?" Like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, I've already posted it. It's on its way. Keep an eye out." I was like,
But
"Cool. Thank you."
even in like talking about it, right? Like that happened in a live. And like I think that is something that I often tell people is like, I don't know what to talk about. There have been live streams that you'd be surprised. I've seen someone build a birdhouse on a live stream and they were engaging the whole way through. I've seen
I put this chair
some
together in a live
I was
stream.
gonna say someone near and dear to our heart put a chair together on a live stream, and that was entertaining. I've
Yep.
done 24/7 live streams, and I can tell you, you
I
find
remember that.
ways. I had done so many push-ups. I had eaten. I that's where the like people have asked me in person, like, how was the hot sauce shot? And I'm like, not as bad as I thought, but not great. So
I love that. I was expecting it to be worse. Yeah, Beanie
I
says, "I've watched
was
people build computers in live streams." Me too.
right.
Like like, I've watched a lady, she tells stories while she does her nails. I don't have pretty nails. I don't do the nails thing, and I still watch because I like her stories. Yeah, Russell's right. I actually don't really have problems coming up with things to talk about. There's usually something that can set me off.
However, if you're watching and you do, don't discredit the fact that you do have more to say than you think.
Mm,
And I've been in chats. I have guest streamed on live streams where they've maybe had 2 or 3 viewers, and it was a host situation similar to Chantelle hosting today. And they're like, "I'm so sorry no one showed up." I'm like, "That doesn't matter. I got to have a conversation with you. I
yeah,
don't care if we have 4 viewers, if we have 400, if we have 4,000, if we have 40,000. I've been
yeah,
on live streams with 1 person in chat, and I've been on live streams with 20,000 people in chat.
yeah,
And I can tell you that the effort and the energy is the same. You're
yeah,
doing it for the people who will show up.
absolutely. Um, I I think especially when we have like a guest like you coming on, Andrew, and I do want to say thank you for joining us today and hanging
Thank
out
you for
with us
having
crazy peeps. Um,
me.
I think that remembering that it's a conversation with a group You know, like that's a big thing. So, and that's how I try to treat it. Is I try to treat it like I'm looking at you right now, Andrew, but I also have the chat right there. And so to me, it's like, you know, when you're standing in a circle of people and everybody's taking turns at talking, or a couple of people are talking together, and then everyone's sort of listening in. That's how I feel about live streams. Is it's a group activity, but it doesn't have to be. Just like conversations, I will also walk around the house talking to myself. So I actually don't need anybody. I could just walk around. My husband's like, he'll work from home every now and my daughter actually said to me the other day, she's gone, "Hey mum, do you actually have any idea how much you talk to yourself?" And I'm like, I want to have a good conversation, Abby. I'll talk to whoever. I don't care if it's just me. Um, and I think it's really important it doesn't matter who's there, who's not there. Like I'm so grateful to have Andrew here, to have someone to talk to who has a face and who responds unexpectedly, and having the chat here as well. These are all bonuses, but they aren't necessities. If you're thinking about live streaming, you don't have to have a guest. You don't have to have an audience. You can just start talking about something you want to talk about. You don't have to live stream for an hour. You can live stream for 5 minutes. You can put out a thought. You don't, the only limitations are limitations you're putting on yourself. It's just to be a conversation. And I think if we're having conversations, we can have conversations like me to myself, which go nowhere. Or you can have conversations with friends and with people in your community that are becoming friends. And you just have to decide which way you want to go.
Yeah. No, I think that was so well said. And I think that technically, if you're recording a YouTube video until you hit publish, you're just talking to yourself.
Yeah, you really are.
That's but like I think Doug's put new channel Chantelle thoughts. That should be your short series. Let's get Chantelle on the shorts train. I would love to
Nice.
see more shorts. I think I think like instead of shower thoughts, it's Chantelle thoughts, and we just get shorts of what she thinks about things on the YouTube space. I think it'd be great, genuinely.
Yeah.
Like I made a video recently because I just didn't have enough to say in a long form, but it's about like this little remote monitor, which basically
Oh, I
is a
love the
mobile
look of that.
monitor.
Yeah.
It is so cool. What it is, it does have some limitations. I won't get and bore the audience in it, but it is MagSafe, so it goes on the back of my iPhone, and I can see myself when I'm filming on my phone, either vertical or horizontal.
Yeah.
And it's only like less than $60, and like the fact that it exists is because of innovations in creator tech and because of things people want to see, right?
Yeah.
So with that, it has made me creating shorts a little easier because trying to film yourself on a phone, while fun and doable, can take time.
Yeah. I also have very short arms. So my face just fills the screen. I want them further away.
This has helped me avoid that too. It does have a remote you can start. But I'll tell you, it was one of those situations where I was like, I hope I'm in shot. And then you watch back and you're like, I'm not. And
Yeah,
now
like,
I don't feel like
just chopped off half my head, or I only have one arm now.
And I do sometimes film with like my nice cameras and stuff to do a short, but sometimes you're just in the moment. You don't want to lose the idea. And like, it's just helped make that process faster, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that I look, I actually like this idea of the thoughts. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's dangerous, but I like the idea of it. And I think it could be one of those things that, you know, I could just drop. Doug cops a lot of my hot takes, right? And you know, Doug is very good at talking me off the ledge in those sorts of situations. So I don't know if me just pressing record and uploading it as a short is always the best choice, but it could be a
You could
fun
always
way to test
enlist it
something.
and send to Doug.
I could, like, hey Doug. Yeah, Doug's
Doug!
like, oh boy.
You can also send it to, but like even in sending
Yeah.
to Doug, right? Like we're talking about this, and I feel like it's something we haven't talked on in stream. but having a circle of trust of people you rely on and believe in you and you know have your best interests. We learned about this with Beanie and Kathy, right? Like they
Yeah,
believe in one another. I am
absolutely.
in your corner, Doug, if you ever need anything, likewise. And I think that it goes to show that is so important. Is like so many people play YouTube as a single player game that they
Yeah,
think that they have to do everything themselves. And
yeah,
all that proves is that you could do everything yourself, but not everyone is asking you to do
yeah,
everything.
absolutely. That's something I'm seeing in a lot of the speakers that are talking at Vid Summit this year. Is a lot of it is around building team and building more people to work with. And something that I really felt last year at Vid Summit, like knowing that everyone spoke the same language. I am sitting in a room by myself. I don't
Yeah.
have anybody face to face that I can talk to about this stuff. It's usually a video call or a text message, which is not nothing, but it's not the same as
Yeah.
having the face to face of someone who is part of your team. But one of the things I will say is knowing that like I know for a fact Andrew has my back. Like I don't even I we may not chat for weeks, but I know for a fact that if like Andrew's one of those people, like you know who your friends are by how they speak about you when you're not in the room. And Andrew speaks kindly. Like I hear back. And it's just one of these things where I know for a fact Andrew has my back. I know Doug has my back. I know like Nick does and Justin does. Like there's so many people that do. And having that circle of people around you that you can bounce things off, that you can throw your unhinged idea at and then just go,
That was a choice.
is that really the direction you are thinking? Or maybe we could completely just destroy that idea and go with something else, you know? It's having these people around you to just have humans in your corner. It's we're not meant to do everything by ourselves. That's why human are like herd animals. Don't go off and do things by themselves naturally. They congregate, they build communities, they do things like, they say it takes a village to raise children. It's the same sort of thing. This is what we want. This is as humans, we need other humans around us. And having people have your back is an amazing feeling.
Agreed, and I love that you used "It Takes a Village" because this is something that my partner, she actually said, and I posted this on Threads, but she said it so casually. It's kind of yeah, she's one of those people that's so, bright and smart, and she'll just say things casually. I'm like, "I don't know if I'd ever think of that." But she says, "Everyone wants a village, but no one wants to be a villager." Everyone wants a village, but no one wants to be a villager. It takes time to build this. You've got to show up
And
for
effort.
them too.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, what I want to leave the folks with is if you are feeling you're alone in your YouTube journey, show up to live streams, start conversations, join communities like Chantelle's, do the things that take you out of making YouTube a single player experience. It is a multiplayer game, and it is best shared with friends. I am so lucky to have met Chantelle, to have met Beanie, to have met Tish, who was in here earlier, to have met Doug. I've met so many folks from doing this, and my life has been changed forever. And so, if you want to find your village, practice being a good villager.
I love that because that's so true. That's so true. One of the big things that I tell people is like they're like, "Oh, my community is not good," it's like, well, you get out what you put in. It's the exact same thing. You get out what you put in. If you're not willing to put in any effort, there's nothing. Is what are you expecting to get out of that? And it's the same thing with. I love that analogy of like you want the village, but not you don't want to be the villager. It's just so true.
And
That's
she said
just so
it so
true.
cacasually, like I said, I love this woman, but she's like, you know?" I'm like, "No, you can't just say
Hang
that
on a
like I
second.
did." Right.
Borrow the threads. This needs.
But, like, I give her the credit because, like, that's how
Yeah.
her mind thinks, and that's the power of being in such a good village. Shout
Yeah.
outs to Become a Prime, AKA Aaron, who is actually a who is in our space as well.
Hey,
He
hey, how you going?
is
Welcome.
he is practicing being a villager, and he's here now, so putting his money where his mouth is.
That is awesome. That's so good. It's been so phenomenal having you on, Andrew. I realized we didn't set a hard time out, and
Oh.
I was like looking at the time, and I'm like, oh wait, is it like should I? Is Andrew like looking at his watch here? Like, do you have a bit more time, like another couple of minutes, or
I do, I have a couple more minutes.
yeah? Because I just wanted to just like because on that note, there's so much coming through the chat, and I just wanted to just end
Yeah,
off by
let's
reading
do
some of
it.
the comments from the chat. Um, Russell was saying here that that was a big plus of PVA, so Primal Video Accelerator. It was the village. It was the community around it. And that made the world of difference. It made it worth having that membership. Absolutely. Um, let's have a look.
Can't spell village without VA.
Oh, that was
There's no P in village, but, you know, I tried. Chantel's like,
actually
"Why is
there
this
should be P in village. Otherwise,
for
those
the
people need
people?"
doctors. But yeah, like it's not hydrating enough. Like we're just grasping at straws now.
Oh, no.
So if you've never been to one of my live streams, this is going to be an experience for you. We do tend to veer off quite heavily towards the end where I lose the plot. I think we're there. I think we're there.
Nah, we're the plot is still here. I saw someone said Andrew rant. I'm okay with that.
Andrew rant, hard timeouts. Yeah, and something that you should be doing if you're setting up a chat with a guest is a couple of little things. Is being very specific with the date, which I wasn't, and I totally sorry about that, Andrew.
It's all good.
And then also having the conversation of is there a time you need to be gone by? So just setting things up just so because you don't want to be having a great conversation and then someone going, well, that's my time, see you, bye, and just dropping out and you thought they were going to be there for your whole live stream or whatever. Like these are good questions to have before the stream, you know. Do as I say, not as I do. It's this thing called live and unedited. That's right. There we go. Not Doug. Russell's gone in hard. The PVA is the Practicing Villagers Association.
There we go.
There you go. There you go. The Artisan Haven says, "Welcome to the world of live streaming." It's absolutely this is one of the advantages of live streaming, right? Is the actual. It's like Vid Summit, right? It's the hallway talks. Like you've got the content, you've got the speakers, but then you've got the hallway talks. This is like the hallway talks part of the live stream, right?
Yeah.
Veering off content is the best content for funny clips. I'll ask a question here. Who here watches shows that they love and then go hunting for the bloopers?
Oh yeah.
I always go hunting for the bloopers. I got to get them
very
blooper
guilty.
reels. Yeah. I love a good blooper reel. So we don't even have to go hunting here. They're just abounding. They're just about. It's like, where is the content through the bloopers? So yeah, so you've got to think about your audience and how serious they are. So it may not work for them, but that's what works here. Bloopers are my life from Become a Prime. Awesome. That's so good. That's so good. Addison Haven says me. She goes hunting for the bloopers, so that's cool. And the train wrecks as well from Livestream Consultants. They look for the train wrecks. But that's.
I mean, we don't talk about the first 5 minutes of the stream. That's all I'll say. I love how it fixed itself by nothing we did.
We did
That's the
nothing.
best part. That's always the best part.
We were this close to pulling the pin on the stream. Ecam was like, no, quick, whoosh, magic.
Right. We did nothing, and it just started working, and we went, you know what? We pivoted, we're here, and we've been here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. If you want to laugh, watch the replay.
Oh yeah.
Like from the start. From the start.
You just start You just cut it out for the replay, and they're like, "What are they even talking about? They're losing their minds."
Yeah, and they keep referring to a chat that doesn't exist. Oh, we do have, we should end the poll here too. I did put that poll in the field, Andrew.
Oh,
Um,
how many people what did people say?
it was bring back the YouTube Academy. 91% said yes. So, yeah.
Well,
That's that,
I'm enrolled in the CHA, the Chantelle Hills Academy of Moderation. I'm waiting for the course. I've signed up. I'm just waiting. I've been actively trying to pay for this course as well. Maybe one day, Chantelle, knowing I am actively trying to sponsor another video. This is my pitch, folks. I am trying.
Andrew has, we got very close to another contract for another video, and then my life tipped upside down, and it's still not back yet. It's
I know.
like I'm having to find a new normal is what it is, and I haven't
All
found it
fair.
yet, but I will get there. I will get there.
And I will sponsor another video. You know, we talked about goals and sometimes you don't reach them. Well, that was one of mine. And you know, maybe that's what I'm trying. Maybe, you know, I have lots of goals. I would love to be on live stream consultants channel one day. You know, there's some goals for you.
Yeah.
But you know, you gotta speak your goals to power. So I'm speaking to Chantelle. I will sponsor another video. Just let me know when.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. It's because like were you a guest on a live stream, and you actually said you love being a guest on live streams, but you don't get invited, and I was just like, wait,
No.
I assumed that you had this list, like, because you're on Opus clips, you're doing tube spanning, you like, I just thought you were just like, and then I was just like, do you want to be on my
It's
live
too
stream? And it
many
was like,
people
yes.
with that assumption. Like, I've been told, "Oh, you're booked and busy." I'm like, someone knows the calendar or schedule that I don't because I am very busy, but
Yeah.
I'm not as booked as people assume.
Yeah. Because I really thought that, like, I mean, it sounds like, here we go for the self doubt. Like, ready? This is some real time. Are we all ready? You were going to have time for this for here. Like, you're working on big things, and like, even if you had time, you would be prioritizing time for these other things. Now, that's me putting stuff in your mouth. I know that's. Don't worry, I do understand. But you don't know unless you ask. Like, I don't know, like, if you guys have checked out this channel at all, like here, and you look at some of the people that I've had on and interviewed with in the past, um, people was surprisingly said yes. Especially at that time, the channel had like 100, 200 subscribers, was new, had hardly any views, and they said yes. Like, you don't know who's gonna say yes, and they won't have that opportunity unless you ask. And Andrew's no different. You have to ask him to be on your show if you want him on the show. He doesn't just go, "Oh, I think I'm gonna try and message Chantelle today because she might need a live streaming guest."
Honestly, Russell, I think Daryl would absolutely be down to do it. And I think, like, I just wanted to give you your flowers once again, Chantel. You've had, you know, Justin Brown, you have had Tiffany Lee, you've had Shelly, you have had Doug, you've had myself, you've had quite a roster of incredible talent. And, you know, we don't care about the subscriber count because we care about you. We know your content.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Of
And
course. This
I'm
is half
always
also,
shocked.
I just wanna say this is my this has been, my attempt just to get Chantelle to believe in herself. Welcome to our therapy session. This has just been a long con to get Chantelle to do things. Welcome to the
Like,
long
I just
con,
need
if
to
you will.
clarify that get Chantelle to do things that she's not doing for work, all right? Like, anybody who I work with, I am doing my job, just so
No,
you
no, she
know.
does her job. I am very selfish and want to enjoy content when I
Yeah.
am living my life. And where is my Chantelle content? Well, right now I'm a part of it, but otherwise,
That's
I
exactly
know it is
right.
here
You're a
every
key
week.
part of, yeah, Russell says we work on this every week. And they do. They do. They're so kind, and, they're so encouraging, but, you
Your
know,
village is speaking up.
the village is speaking up. There's gonna be pitchforks soon, I'm sure of it. Oh gosh. Kathy says I would never know if Beanie and I had not collaborated. Well, I would have never known if Beanie and I collaborated. So you just don't know until you ask, until you talk to
Yeah.
people. So
Thank you,
amazing yacht
Amazing Yacht Destination.
destinations. I'll see you next time. He says, need to go. Have fun. See you all on the next stream. Hope this becomes a monthly or bi-monthly thing with Andrew. There you go, Andrew. That's an offer out there. And there's lots of suggestions in here for people I should try and bring on. Part of it is storm the castle. Sorry.
Yeah. You know what, Russell? I'm right there with you. Start the chants in chat. Where's the course? Where's the course? Where's the course? Bring it up every week. Also, while you're bringing it up and while we are storming the castle, please remember to hydrate.
Everyone's hydrating. They got their pitchforks and their water bottles.
We put the castle on fire and we have the water to take it out.
That's exactly right. This is safety first, people. Safety first.
Safety first. Yeah, where's the course? Those amazing yacht destinations. Yes. I'm so sorry, Chantelle. Every week is gonna have
totally
where's
cool.
the course?
It's gonna be a thing now. I'm going to
Our
live
future
stream
guest-
consultants. I'll be surprised if I don't get a text message with a GIF of torches and pitchforks for me to add to next week's roster of GIFs that would usually appear over us. That didn't because I didn't set it up properly. But yeah. Oh dear, no, so fun. So fun. Oh my god.
I've just given look, Chantelle thought, I'm not in the membership. He can't give me homework. You're wrong. Homework given.
And you know I only left the membership because I couldn't like join the calls and
Handle
stuff
the
anymore.
homework. Yeah. I know.
I couldn't handle the homework. That's what it was. The calls
I'm
changed
kidding.
days and I couldn't turn up for anything and I felt like
No,
such
it's all
a
good.
naughty
It's all good.
student. So yeah.
It is. I only say that because I know you. I know your heart, and I know how you feel. Takes out the knife. Where's the course?
And puts it back in. The knife comes out, the knife goes back in.
Your villagers are speaking.
They are.
The village wants the course.
They do. Kath says it needs to be a shirt now. Where's the course? I'll just turn up to Vid Summit next year, still no course, and all these people are just coming at me with shirts.
Russell, I love Russell. He's like, and then we want a membership after the course. Yeah!
Yeah.
I love the idea that most people are afraid of their chat and like making them sad. You are afraid of your chat because they're like, where's our course?
Yeah. Yeah. There's some weeks where I'm like, oh man, can I just cope with all this positive reinforcement? Gosh. Oh yeah, see, Beanie's right. You come out with the course and then it's like, where's the next course?
No, Beanie's dead on. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's Beanie. You're right. You're right. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Oh, where's the sauce? Yep, but convert it to course.
It's like that old meme where the guy slaps the car and he's like, "You could fit so many," and it's just going to say "courses" in here, and it's us, the Chantelle.
And I'm just standing there at the driving seat. I'm there at the door, just passing things out. Here you go.
And by the way, if you will be joining the Vid Summit, live stream chat, I will also mention it's a great time to remind Chantelle of the course.
I'll just get this feedback from the team, like, what was with all the course conversations? Oh,
people are, yes, where's the course?
And I'll be sitting here in the dark of my office with my whole family asleep because I got to flip the clock to work that week, or this week it is, and try not to laugh because I had to be so quiet because I apparently talk too loud, and my daughter's bedroom is there. Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. Uh-oh. I see him coming through, Chris. Chris is starting to send GIFs to add. Oh my gosh. Oh
Huh?
wow. Um. So yeah. So it's I don't even know where to go after that.
Well, yeah, you do. You go right to working on the course.
Oh,
Hello?
oh yeah, of course, of course, of course, the
Of
course.
course.
Of course, the course. Well, if you want
You
to
think we're
harass
kidding.
me while I'm at work, you'll need to buy your VidSummit replay pass. Doug, if you could throw that in the chat, that would be really super cool.
And obviously, as much fun as that would be, please don't. I
Yeah.
I say that jokingly, but it is also a good reminder that, that someday, and I will speak this to power, that Chantelle will be speaking at Vid Summit. I know that in my heart, and that she is more than qualified. She has always been ready, and I can't wait for the day you're up there because I'm going to be in the audience. I'm going to ask the course if it's not out by then, but
like like
that's
there'll be
gonna.
question time, like Andrew will just come up to the microphone. Excuse me, where's the course?
Yeah, I just had a question. Why can't I sponsor you, and where's the course?
Why don't you respond to my emails with perfectly formed contracts where all you have to do is sign it?
Every time I look at Chantelle now on, I'm just gonna be the Futurama gif of "Take my money." That's what I want you to think of, because that's us with the course. Take our money. Right
Oh my
now, you
goodness.
can remind Chantelle of your needs for the course in real time, and I highly encourage you. I put a link in chat. Please follow Chantelle. You should, one, great updates. Two, remind her we're waiting for the course.
Thank you for sharing that, Andrew. Now I'm like, oh, hang on a second. I tend to make angry tweets. I tend to Twitter's like my last resort. Like I'm just gonna scream into the wind over here. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. You
Chantelle, just thought you should know. I think you have a new tweet. Just as a heads up, something you should check out. Your ads or something. I don't know.
it's like
Anyway,
whatever they
folks,
call it these days. Am I looking at it right this second?
you absolutely should look at it right this second. And chat, don't worry, I have you. I have you covered. I think that this is one of those things that I don't want anyone to miss, right? And I am very happy that we're all here, and I don't want to lose momentum on this.
Oh
So
my gosh.
thanks to thanks to everyone for reminding Chantelle. Please, just where's the course?
That's good. That's the takeaway from today, everybody, apparently. Yeah, that's great.
There's two takeaways. One, if you are thinking about live streaming, you absolutely should get started.
Yeah.
Because without this beautiful medium, how could we ever tell Chantelle to start the course? And
Yeah.
two, Chantelle, start the course. And those are our messages for the day.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Well, Andrew, I love having conversations with you, and we don't have anywhere near enough. Um,
No,
this could be
we
why.
need to have more.
We do, we do. Um, I've loved having you on as a guest today, and I'm so glad it meant that we got to have this conversation because we do, we do get busy and like everybody, life catches up. And but it's just so wonderful that we got this time and this time with this amazing bunch of crazy people in our community here. Because
Amazing.
this is a mix of both of our communities, I'm sure.
Yes.
And if you aren't part of the KDCC, so the Andrew Can Do community over on Discord. Andrew, do you have a link handy? I don't have one
Yeah.
programmed in. Um, if you are not a member over there, if you don't have your own cheerleaders behind you, go and join this group. It is a phenomenal resource of people who are on the same path. If you can't go to Vid Summit, if you can't do VidCon, if you can't go to these events, which I understand we can't all do these things, this is such a fantastic way that you can have this all of the time, not just once a year. If you have questions, if you need help, is an amazing group of it's an enormous community of people who are there just to help each other. And you should totally go and check it out. And it's one of these things, a fish rots from its head. And Andrew's community is not rotting because Andrew is an amazing leader. And, I just wanted to just do a backwards assault on Andrew there.
How dare you? I'm just kidding. Thank you.
He leads this group with the Can Do community on Discord. He leads this group with grace and just wants everybody to win. And he does this by giving so much information. Join the email list. All the details are in the group. You can find out all of the great things that he can share, the tools, the tips, the tricks of like what's available, what's coming up. If you want like a congregated or aggregated amount of news that you're finding out that's digestible every week, then you can totally go in and learn this stuff from Andrew as well, and his fantastic team that he has over there.
And I just wanted to say thank you. Chantelle is an incredible member of the community. A lot of you are already in it, so thank you for that. Shout out to my co-founder Ike, who would not be possible without her.
Yeah.
And ultimately, for us, thank you first off, Chantelle. I appreciate all those kind words. But for us, it's really been I've been so fortunate in my career to just have the ability to be in front of a group and it's a responsibility I've never taken lightly. Being a leader of a community is a huge and an honor of a responsibility. And Chantel, you have equally as great as a community here. There's a reason these things work. And shout outs to all the villagers out there, ourselves included, because
Even if
it
they've
does
got
take a village.
pitchforks and are screaming.
Even then. But Chantel, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I would love to extend the offer back to have you on my channel again if you would like to,
Absolutely, that'd be wonderful.
amazing.
All
So
right.
don't now people are like, where's Andrew's lives? You want to
Yep.
talk about
Andrew.
throwing it back at
Hey,
myself?
Andrew, when's your next live, Andrew?
I actually do know this. My next live's during Vid Summit.
Oh, fantastic. Are you gonna go live from VidSummit?
From Vid Summit, not from the team, but while at the event,
Okay.
just to clarify for folks.
Yeah. So, yeah, awesome. Don't know if I'll be able to watch, but I will try.
All of them fair. And I just wanted to also say massive shout outs to Chantel, the Vid Summit team, Daryl. All of you work really hard to make that event what it is. And you want to talk about villagers, the underappreciated folks are the people working the event. And so if
Yeah.
I can take a moment to just say thank you to every one of you, thank you. Because the event is in this upcoming week. There will be events to come. And if you've ever worked an event or are working Vid Summit, thank you.
VidSummit is one of those things that's just there's so many moving parts. There's so many people involved, and there's like 80 speakers, and there's so much for you to see and so much for you to do, and all of the team, like the huge team around putting it all together, is just phenomenal. Um, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you everyone in the audience for jumping in as well. It has been so fantastic, and we will absolutely have to do this again. But unfortunately, it is time to say adieu, and we'll catch you all here next week. Bye now.
Thank you, everyone.